Good afternoon. Welcome everybody to the beautiful Gene Bishop Fieldhouse here in Statesboro for this very special day for South Georgia's Tormenta FC. Got a full room here today. We're so excited about the next hour or so and what we're going to unveil. We also want to welcome everybody watching today on the D3 website for USL, also Facebook Live and YouTube. We're thrilled to have you with us. We've got some really, really special stuff to share with you. I'm Drew Felios from ESPN, and for the past couple years, I have had the honor and the privilege to be a part of Tormenta FC as the play-by-play announcer from game to game. I have not missed a game so far, and it has just been a spectacular thing to be a part of. But I remember 2 years ago, I was doing some work here at Georgia Southern with Art Berger and his great crew here for the Eagles, and I get a phone call from a guy named Darren Van Tassel. And he tells me, Drew, we're bringing big-time soccer to Statesboro. We're going to win immediately. We're going to pack Irk Russell Park. We're going to have this great new mascot and logo and colors. And I'm just listening, and I'm like, yeah. I hang up the phone, and I'm like, is he serious? Well, I've been in this business for 20 years, in the sports business. I've seen some ideas work. I've seen some fail as well. And I wondered, can this Tormenta FC, can this organization become a success? Well, today, and well before today, that question has been answered with a resounding yes, it absolutely can. 2 years in, Tormenta FC has been named the 2016 PDL New Franchise of the Year. 2017, they were runner-up for Franchise of the Year. Tormenta FC has really set the bar in the PDL for attendance, creating a true home field advantage and a tremendous atmosphere at Irk Russell Park. And altogether, the consensus is in the PDL that this is one of the class organizations in the league. Tormenta FC, a lot to be proud of over the past 2 years. I'm going to get into a few reasons quickly here why. First of all, coaching. Our leader is great. John Milleracey, where's John? He's right here in the front row. He epitomizes what a head coach should be. He is patient, yet he's persistent. He gets his message across. He's a great communicator, and the players certainly respond to him. The franchise is in great hands with Coach Milleracey at the helm. Also want to thank Ben Freakley because he kind of laid the groundwork in the inaugural year for Tormenta FC. So the coaching has been fabulous. The players in this organization have been awesome as well. Some of the guys are here. Josh Phelps is in the back row. Josh, wave to us. Josh is here, one of the newer players, suited up last year for Tormenta. Also guys like Ayo Sosu, Jad Arslan, I know is here as well. Sam Lofts, Charlie Dennis, Rashid Alarape, Matt Rosenberg, Leland Archer, Reed Norton, Tony Soler, Kieran Roberts, all these guys not only doing great things on the field, but going into the community and representing the organization first class all the way. These young men should certainly be commended. Our fans are among the best in the PDL, creating a true home field advantage, and the management and the ownership we're going to get into more and more here over the next hour. David Ball is here. David has done a great job in the front office, along with Heidi Jeffers, who we would not be here today without Heidi as well. I want to say thank you to her. The hard work has certainly paid off. All the interns that have put in hard work to this organization as well have made it what it is. The main reason, and I know the oldest saying in business is all great businesses start from the top. I firmly believe this organization has the best management in the PDL, and they're going to have one of the best in all of soccer. And Darren and Nitra Van Tassel, and what they have brought to Statesboro, how they have put their heart and soul into it from day one, and it has not stopped. It has just gotten greater as time has gone along. In case you know or not, I mean, these players are housed. These players are fed. These players are treated like pretty much world-class athletes while they're here in Statesboro. Not only that, but they are like cheerleaders to these players. They get invested in their lives. They keep tabs on the players. When the players leave the organization, they continue to keep track of them, to promote them, and to get involved. Nitra will go and watch them play at their respective universities. I mean, think of that. A sports organization that takes care of their guys when they're under their roof, and then, of course, when they leave. What does that mean? That means whenever you play for Tormenta FC, you're part of this family. Players who have played here so far can feel that, and that is certainly going to be the case for years to come. I truly believe we're going to talk about a lot of great things today, a lot of good things on the horizon, but the heart of Tormenta FC, the heart and soul of what the organization is about, is the love, the caring, the support that Darren and Nitra show their players. It is top-notch, and it's going to drive this organization for years to come. Okay, so it's been a great 2 years, but we have just tipped the iceberg, and what we have coming is going to be amazing for this city, for this organization, and for soccer fans all over South Georgia. Today, Tormenta FC gets set to enter a new stratosphere of the soccer world as we introduce you to USL DIII.
That's a huge save. Shot, save!
It's Drogba at his best. Wow.
Still free, and a shot, and a goal!
And it is brand new, it's developing, and without any further ado, I'd like to introduce you to the Vice President of USL DIII, Mr. Stephen Short.
Thank you, Drew. I'm going to throw this back up here so I don't have to hold it, if that's okay with you, and bring it down to my height. Good afternoon and welcome. It's great to be back in Statesboro for truly an exciting day, not only in Statesboro and South Georgia, but also for USL Division III and the landscape of professional soccer in the United States. This is the first of many announcements for USL Division III in the coming weeks and months as we gear up for a launch of the season in 2019. But before we start, I'd like to say thank you, because this is not my first trip to Statesboro. It's almost becoming a second home, a second family, and thank you for that. Mayor McCollar, thank you for being here today. Jan Moore, I believe you drove down from Atlanta. Thank you for being here today and all your support up to this date and everyone's support to the future. Mr. Thompson, Chairman of the Bullitt County Board of County Commissioners, thank you. Beth Matthew from the Ibis Foundation, thank you for being here. Coach John Murphy and Brian Dunleavy, members of the Georgia Southern men's and women's soccer programs, thank you for being here today. What an exciting moment for you and what the future holds for the university. To the Tormenta FC alumni, current players, those that are joining us online today and those in present, thank you. And also to the fans of the team. This could not be possible without you for supporting this team. Drew mentioned attendance figures through the roof for the club to date, and we expect those to continue to grow. But before we get into everything, I want to make sure we can thank a couple other individuals. To the athletic department here at Georgia Southern University, thank you for hosting us in this beautiful Bishop Fieldhouse for this awesome event. Tom Kleinlein, Art Berger, Dan Adams, thank you for your behind-the-scenes support to make today happen. To the USL team that's present here today, Joe Dragotta, Aaron Cranford, Josh Keller, and our team at our headquarters in Tampa, Florida, Thank you for supporting this announcement, this event, this league that will change the landscape of soccer throughout this country. To Darren and Nitra, family, right? It's been a privilege over the last 4 years, and I do say 4 years because it didn't start 2 years ago, of where we are today. Your dedication from the first announcement in the summer of 2015 to where we are today shows there's tremendous opportunity in Statesboro for professional soccer. We are truly at a point of the next evolution of the game in this country. With USL Division II and the launch of a Division III league, we know that Statesboro will be strong. An area known for its famous alumni, such as country music superstars Luke Bryant and Cole Swindell, Jody Mudd of the PGA Tour, Super Bowl champion Fred Stokes, and Eagles named Glory, Freedom, and Gus. Statesboro is now at the forefront of professional soccer in this country. Not only is it a great city, but it's also a sports-minded city with a rich history in the games, not just in soccer, but across the board. Having produced athletes that have played in the NFL, the NBA, the LPGA, and Major League Baseball. But it's time to add USL and Major League Soccer to those ranks. The success of this university and this community is exhibited in, by my numbers, A.D. Kleinline, 6 national championships, 65 conference titles, including that of the 2016 Sun Belt Men's Conference Championship in soccer. But this is not a city that's new to soccer. The men's program just celebrated its 37th season. The women's program its 17th. It's time to add professional soccer to Statesboro. Approximately 3 years ago, the USL began planning, building, and executing our vision for launching a new professional league in U.S. soccer. This would complete the pathway from the youth ranks up to the professional ranks, from youth to D3 to D2 and to MLS. USL Division III will provide a foundation for professional soccer, and we build it on 3 core tenets: professional, passionate, and proven. We're building a professional game for passionate fans on a proven model. These core beliefs are echoed through everything we do, so we can also provide professional soccer to the more than 75 million people throughout the U.S. that do not have direct access to a U.S. soccer-sanctioned professional club. We are developing the game at a new level and bringing professional soccer to Statesboro. We also mentioned USL Division III as a league of opportunity. And while it's not our formal name, that'll launch later this year, we show that it's built on the foundation of USL. But as a league of opportunity, we talk about opportunities for players, coaches, fans, and communities to embrace this game and its future. Entering your 3rd season of competition, Darren and Nitra have excelled with Tormenta FC by setting the standard for amateur clubs in this country. Their unwavering support, effort, and vision for their community, players, and club have fostered an environment of success for on and off the pitch. We've seen the awards. They're sitting in the back of the room today. Drew mentioned them earlier. Franchise of the Year, runner-up last year, the Franchise of the Year, and multiple Golden Scarf Awards for excellence on and off the field. We know that the team is in great hands. We look forward to working with you and partnering with you to continue to grow USL Division III in the future. At this time, so we can hear from those we're here to hear from, if you would help me welcoming Darren and Nitra Van Tassel to the stage so we can formally award a USL Division III franchise to Statesboro on behalf of the USL and our CEO, Alec Papadakis. We'll put the 19 out forward. Thank you, buddy. Oh, take that one. All you.
All you. You're taking mine too.
You sure?
Yeah. Well, that's pretty fun. Can we do this tomorrow too? Because this is fun. for me. I wish you guys could see how good you look from up here where I'm standing. I think it was about 4 years ago that Nitra and I looked at each other and said, well, here's an idea. We live in the craziest American football communities in the United States, the American South. Let's build a soccer team here. And I think that sounded crazy to a whole lot of our friends, except for some. I will tell you, I think Nitra and I first saw something when we first saw something big by watching our children play, especially our son Payne play the game. And yes, we got caught up in parents and in the way all of our parents do follow our children. But I tell you, we also saw a movement afoot. And it was a movement afoot, unlike other sports, which we sort of learned from the top down. They're sort of passed down generationally. At least in this country, the sport of soccer was getting passed upward. And that is such a big difference. There's a tidal wave of new fans that have come. And I think it's here we saw the chance to run a business and to really chase a dream, to use the power of sport and to bring pro soccer to this part of the state, drawing fans from Statesboro, Savannah, and the Low Country of South Carolina. Today marks a big day for soccer in the world. I know the eyes of when you look and see where people are watching today from, they're really from all over the planet. They're not just here in Greater Statesboro. When it came time to consider moving forward and moving up into the professional ranks, I can tell you for Nitra, when we knew we needed to expand that ownership group, we knew exactly where to find our team. Our team were really those individuals who were smart, but they were also part of our soccer family as we sort of saw some things. Jeff Spencer, Kristen Goodman, Elena Hauer in the front row with me today, and I know watching online are Alan and Kristen Kagan and Stephanie Brighton, Craig Simonson, and Phil and Marianne Michael. That ownership group is filled with smart people. It's filled with a really lot of brilliant minds, people I trust and feel very good about. While Nitra and I are certainly maintain the majority ownership in it, we would be nowhere without this particular group. I'm so honored my people are here in the front row today, first of all, for believing in that vision, but also really being part of that soccer family. Today's announcement really comes in two parts. One is we're so honored to move up and to move into our new league. I'm so pleased that John Milleracey was introduced to you today for the press that's watching today. I can also announce that John will be our first head coach as we move into that league as well. And John Cott and George Gonzalez are here too, our assistant coaches. But today's about two announcements. We've got another one that's equally as big because, by the way, if you're going to play professional soccer in Statesboro, you have to find a place to play. And so we've got a video. Let's cross our fingers how it plays this time. If you're in the audience, you can turn your attention to watch. But if you're at home, there's a couple pieces there I'll just draw your attention to. Fortunately, it is playing, as we're being covered live, it's playing there just fine, I'll have you know. Let me just draw your attention to a couple things. There's some slides, if you are in the audience, that'll get pulled up that you can see here in just a second. As Nitra and I sort of looked about where we would call home to the new facility, it will be located where the golf range is currently at Head Hackers. My longtime friend and partner, Larry Bryant's in here with me today. Larry, can you believe it was November of '98 when we broke ground? And it was a couple of years before then we started talking about it. And it's been an important part of Statesboro, but it's an important time to do something else with it. But when we decided about what to do there, what we didn't want to do is build a soccer stadium. That is a tougher challenge to do. So what we elected to do was to build a retail professional office complex, an entertainment complex that, by the way, where you could also hold a 5,000-seat soccer stadium in the middle of it. And you'll begin to hear more details coming forward. If you're in the back, those pictures are starting to show some of those things there. If you flip to the next side, you'll see that it'll have full-time retail spaces in there. There are spaces in there for professional offices in which they will be held. We will begin to hear some announcements about the kinds of folks that will move into that facility here over between now and the next 6 months. We have some folks who need to make their own announcements about those settings as they're coming. There'll be retail, office, as I said. Our intentions is also to not just make it retail, and as the slide flips to the next one, you'll see that we've also intend to hold major concerts at that facility. It'll be one that I think really draws. If soccer's not your thing, then you can get real excited about the music that'll be coming through there and the kinds of festivals that a facility like that permits this city to have. And if you flip one more slide to it, I will tell you that's a really nice one for you to see if you're sort of watching along in the podcast, but also in here, how it relates to the clubhouse. You'll go out the back door and have a first shot there. I can see the walkover being filled with people spending some time in the clubhouse and all in there, and all the other things that are going to be around it. It is also our intention that at some point in the future, it becomes the home to the Georgia Southern men's and women's soccer program. And I know we have those two teams that are in the room today. TK, I know we've got some work still to do, but I appreciate your guidance and support upon those kinds of things as well. And you'll see on that last slide, our intentions are, too, to develop everything around it. It is not just a soccer facility. It's not just going to be an entertainment district, but that part of Statesboro to bring in some major retail, some major economic development to that sector of the town. And over the next few years, I think you'll find that it will absolutely change the brand of Statesboro. It'll certainly change how the rest of the world sees us. Sport can do those things. It can leapfrog in ways that few other things do. It can pour fuel on a fire and burn things in the way few other things can. Now, if you're not playing well, it can burn your house down too, by the way. And that's what all fans sort of have come to love. We're back full circle to the sport. But it also drives economic development, and we're so happy to help be a part of all of that. You know, I think big events like today make us very thankful. I have to speak for Nitra and I both here today. She's given me the microphone. She does that far too often. Ours is an ownership team that is definitely a joint venture between the two of us. She is not just an excellent partner. She has an unbelievable business mind, and the gift that she brings to this business every day is really important. I'm so thankful for our fans. I'm so thankful for fans that take time out to work to come today. I have players who didn't have to be in town today, but that drove to be here today because they wanted to be a part of it. I'm so appreciative of our coaches that are here, our community leaders that are in the room, my fellow business owners that are in town. A lot of you know I'm also a professor at Georgia Southern. I'm retiring in May. I don't know how many of you know that. I've got a little project to be involved with. Two of my dearest colleagues are here, well, actually three of them, Barry Ballack, Patrick Novotny, and Chris Geierman. It honors me that you're here. Bev Graham's in attendance too, and there are others. I can't name everybody, but these are also my people, and I appreciate that you're being here today. Nitra, Whit, and Payne, Whit and Payne, both of my children. Payne's in attendance today. Whit, I know you're watching. This is important to all of us, and I have to say thank you for that. To my parents and siblings, you know, my parents moved here in 1970. This was a different place in 1970. It was a very different place. But I have to say, this room is filled with people who moved the needle since 1970. This is home. It's been home for me since I was quite young. When they moved here from California, the world changed a little bit for them. But they chose to raise a family here, and a lot of my siblings decided to stay here. They've become prominent people in this community. I'm so honored that I have sisters that are here today and brothers that are watching. You know, today we stand here on the shoulders of so many people who've come before us that have done things for our town, for our community, our country, our state. It can't begin to believe that this is just something we pulled off by ourselves. We stand in a place, in a building that IRC built, and yet think about all the places that had to happen for that part to happen, much less what's happened since those periods of times took place. So I thank you. I'm very honored about the awards that came today, the USL in terms of what they had to say. I have to tell you, we can't do this without you. You have to buy tickets. It's not going to work any other way. That's the deal. I can tell you that right now you can start reserving spots for 2019. The site is active. Folks from our front office has been handing out flyers. If you can't remember, you can even scan the QR code on there, and it'll let you buy it like that today. But we've also got soccer to play in 2018 and this year. And so those tickets are also on sale too. So I hope you'll buy them. Hope you'll buy some for your friends. And when you don't have all you need, buy one more. One last thing I thought I would say before we went. I had a great conversation with my son Whit. Whit's off at school and he's at NYU. So I hope you're in class at the moment, Whit, but are watching this later. But Whit sent me a text about 4 days ago. He said, "Dad, what are we going to do? You know, the entire plan, the entire mission statement for Tormenta FC has always been pros start here. You know, you're going to need a new mission statement, Dad. What do you do?" And I said, "Oh my gosh, Whit, you're right. I hadn't thought about it." And at about 20 minutes later, he sent me a text. He said, "I got it." He said, "I got a solution." He said, "Pros start here. That still makes sense. But in 2019, our new mission statement is pros are here." And with that, I have to tell you how honored I am to get the cold chills that just ran through my entire body on that moment. And I'm so honored that you would be here. Thank you very much. Okay, Drew, I'll turn it back to you.
Great stuff. Okay, we have lots of special guests here, and a few of them are even going to join us up here on stage. Please welcome, without any further ado, the Mayor of Statesboro, John McCollar.
Darren, you're right. They do look good from up here. Absolutely. I'm not going to hold you long. I understand a great speech has a very small amount of space between the beginning and the end. But I think that Darren and his family and what's going on today embodies the spirit of Statesboro. If we know anything about Statesboro, we know one thing. We like to win, and we really like to win in blue. So that's one thing that we definitely want to embody, and we want to thank you for your leadership, your vision on this project, because not only does it take that vision, it takes the courage to follow that vision. And I believe that that's what Statesboro is all about. What this is going to do for our community is a tremendous change, because we are moving our city into a new millennium. And that new millennium says that we are a city that embraces our tradition, but we look forward to what our future holds. So I'm extremely excited about it. Darren, to you, your wonderful family, some of who I went to school with, I want to say thank you for everything that you've done within this community, and know that the city of Statesboro greatly appreciates you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. Our next guest here on the stage is the chair for the Bullitt County Board of Commissioners. Please welcome Roy Thompson.
I may try to put a little different spin on this. I've known Darren since he was 3 years old. I was talking to his dad a while ago, and I have a word that I'm going to describe him with in a moment. But we were talking about him. He said he's always been a mover and a shaker. He works on 14 things at one time, and until he gets them completed. And that's the way I've always found him. But my word to describe Darren is dreamer. He's always been a dreamer, but what differentiates him between other dreamers is he will turn his dreams into realities, just like he is doing here now. And we're so blessed to have you and your family in Bullitt County, which Statesboro is located in. And I always say that. Some people have a tendency to forget that, but we have about 75,000 of the most wonderful citizens in Bullitt County, but it's unbelievable what y'all have done in a 2-year period of time. First, from an amateur team, then to the Premier Development League, and now a professional team here in Bullitt County. And it's just unbelievable, and also with the new stadium. But I would like to say to you, representing Bullitt County, its citizens, the other commissioners, the county manager, myself, and everyone that's been involved with this and hope to be involved with this by buying tickets. We certainly appreciate your being here. We appreciate your deciding to live here many, many, many years ago. Hope you stay here forever. I would like to leave you with this one thought. What can we as a county do to help you with this endeavor? Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, our final speaker here today on this very special day is the director of the Ibis Foundation, Beth Matthews. Come on up to the stage, Beth.
Thank you. When he said that, I looked at Darren and I went, what? And I'm the director of the Ibis Foundation. I'll start by saying about 2 years ago, I got a phone call, and it was from David Ball. And he said, Miss Beth, we're having a press conference today. Could you please come? So if David asked me, I'm going to go. And so I went out, and it was the announcement of their foundation, that they were starting a foundation. And about 2 weeks later, I get a call, and it was Heidi. And Heidi says, can you meet with me, Darren and David? And I said, okay. And they pretty much said to me, we have a foundation, we have a 501c3, but that's all we have. And we need you. We know soccer, you know professional fundraising. And so we started meeting then, and I think we've done an excellent job of putting together a board of directors. We have all the legal, we have bylaws, we have policies, we have procedures. We're doing it, and we're doing it right. And you know, my first question was, what are we raising money for? Which I know a lot of you are probably sitting out there thinking, why does Tormenta need a foundation? And when they said it was going to be the Ibis Foundation, for those of you who know me well, that was right in my lane. The Ibis, go you. But we started talking about that. What do we need money for? So we came up with a mission statement, and our mission statement is to promote the international sport of soccer by providing accessible resources and opportunities for players to properly train, learn, and improve their soccer skills. David has done a wonderful job this year. We are in 5 counties doing soccer camps that are teaching children in high school how to play soccer and to learn and love soccer. And the Ibis Foundation has been a strong supporter of that. And we are here to help them in any way. Through facilities, through equipment, through scholarships, in any way that we can assist them. And we are so excited about this move up for Tormenta. And Darren's over here telling you to buy tickets, and David and I are here telling you to give money to the Ibis Foundation. Thank you.
Okay. That is going to just about do it here this afternoon. I just want to thank each and every one of you for being part of this historic day here in Statesboro. Also, thank you to all of you watching on YouTube and Facebook Live. And I want to tell all the local media here that immediately following this event, members of the Tormenta staff as well as the USL DIII are available for interviews if you guys want to get some one-on-ones or some breakdowns. Before we say goodbye, though, today, we're going to go to that screen one more time with our fingers crossed. And we've got a special message from Lieutenant Governor Casey Cagle.
Hi, I'm Lieutenant Governor Casey Cagle, and I am so excited to welcome Tormenta as the first Division III football club right here in our state. And I know Statesboro is just as excited as I am. Being there with their sister club, Atlanta United, developing all kinds of wonderful football players that are going to come forth. It is exciting for our state, and I just want to say a special congratulations to your president, Van Tassel, along with your coach, Coach Milrisi, who's doing a wonderful job. The future is very, very bright, not only for your club, but also for the state of Georgia and Statesboro.